Republicans have been crying nonstop about the Biden DOJ that's going after its political opponents and the political persecution, and it's so unfair to be a Republican, even though grand juries indict, grand juries convict, and the charges were brought by a state DA on the state level, not federal DAs, not at the federal level, not by any DA connected to Biden, meaning Biden literally had no hand in any of this. But yet, they still need somebody to point fingers at and obfuscate, despite cheering on Trump verbally saying that he'll use the DOJ to target Democrats, despite chanting "lock her up" when he said he was going to use the DOJ to go after his political opponent Hillary, something Biden has not and never would say. But they're hypocrites. It's pretty well exposed at this point. But let's see how Biden is responding to the now inevitable questions that he's going to continue to get about Trump being a felon.
Donald Trump was given every opportunity to defend himself. It was a state case, not a federal case, and it was heard by a jury of 12 citizens, 12 Americans, 12 people like you, like millions of Americans who served on juries. This jury is chosen the same way every jury in America is chosen. It was a process that Donald Trump's attorney was part of. The jury heard 5 weeks of evidence, 5 weeks. And after careful deliberation, the jury reached a unanimous verdict. They found Donald Trump guilty on all 34 felony counts. Now he'll be given the opportunity, as he should, to appeal that decision just like everyone else has that opportunity. That's how the American system of justice works. And it's reckless, it's dangerous, it's irresponsible for anyone to say this was rigged just because they don't like the verdict.
It's also one of the core facets of authoritarianism, something Republicans say, you can't name one thing Trump does that's authoritarian, to draw skepticism of institutions that disagree with you. Think about with Trump's base, he could literally do whatever he wants, literally be convicted for it, proven guilty in the court of law, the only system we have to prove people if guilty or not guilty, if they did it or didn't, and his base would find a way to write that off because he knew what his plan was, he knew what kind of president he was going to be, he knew what kind of man that he was, so he preempted these legal activities by attacking the credibility of all institutions. Now, him being a rapist doesn't hurt him with his base because he can just say it was rigged and it was a fraudulent charge, and being a literal fraud doesn't hurt him with his base. He can just say it's rigged and corrupt. Trying to steal an election doesn't hurt him with his base, and being a felon, of course, doesn't hurt him with his base because, again, he can just say it's rigged, they're all going after me, just like every single thing that hasn't gone his way since 2016 has been rigged. It's over 10 to 15 things. People are so scared of Trump, the man who lost every popular vote he's ever been in and only passed one bill as president. We fear him so greatly that we have to go after him. Yeah, it's so believable that his base will buy into it every single time.
Our justice system has endured for nearly 250 years, and it literally is the cornerstone of America, our justice system. The justice system should be respected, and we should never allow anyone to tear it down. It's as simple as that. That's America. That's who we are, and that's who we'll always be, God willing.
You have to think of the slippery slope that this creates if we go with Trump's perspective. Anybody ever convicted of a crime can just say, oh, well, the judge was a Republican and I'm a Democrat. The judge was a Democrat and I'm a Republican. Oh, I'm a Republican in New York. That's the only reason I was convicted. Oh, I'm a Democrat in Florida. That's why I'm in jail right now. And we would have to give credence to each and every one of these people, when in reality, faith in our legal institutions, to a certain extent, I mean, they're not perfect, are the only things that keep us civil. Sure, it has its faults. Sure, you can say you don't agree with the verdict. Sure, you can say you want to appeal it. You have the right to do so, of course, but to say it's rigged by the president when a grand jury of Americans indict and a grand jury of Americans convict is to say that we can't trust any verdict ever, thus everybody should be exonerated. But of course, MAGA only wants this kind of logic to apply to Trump and nobody else, definitely not the black people. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everybody to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video. We even have memberships available as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together.